Great to be here, Kelly. Thank you.
And you guys are able to at least try to get students on campus because you're a pretty remote, sort of tight-knit community there. But it's only going to be the freshmen for the fall, is that right?
We'll be anchored by our first-year class, but we'll also have a group of students for whom trying to learn at home is virtually impossible because of the home conditions, a group of seniors who are working on honors projects that require them to be on campus, and our residential life staff.
And you're going to flip-flop that, so then the freshmen learn at home in the spring semester, maybe try to bring the seniors back?
So our goal is to learn as much as we can in the fall with the group that we're going to have about how to safely run our campus. And then if we do that properly, which is my expectation, and the world cooperates a little bit with us, then we will bring our seniors, juniors, and sophomores back in the spring, and hopefully also have an opportunity for our athletes in the winter and spring sports to participate in those sports as well.
Right, because there won't be any fall athletics. And I mean, this is interesting to me as well that you say, not only will all students and residents be required to use face coverings, maintain social distancing, you say everyone on campus will be tested for the virus at least twice weekly. Sounds uncomfortable, by the way, I think, based on how those tests work. But we can understand why you're doing it, and required to participate in contact tracing. Tell me about the cost of all of this, because around here we have, colored wristbands and you get your temperature checked every day. I mean, it's a big undertaking.
It is, and in order to keep, so let me make a couple of comments about that. College campuses in this country are densely packed environments. And for most of the time, that's a wonderful thing. It's all kinds of goodness that comes out of that in a college experience. But when you've got a public health crisis and a highly contagious virus like the one that we're dealing with now, having that kind of density is really problematic. So we're reducing the density on our campus, and then we're putting in place, as you've said, a set of safety practices. The requirement that everyone indoors and most of the time outdoors wear face covering, good hygiene practices, social distancing, symptom monitoring, and so forth. But we've also learned through the reopening of America in the last 5 or 6 weeks that following those practices in a rigorous way for anybody, college students and everybody else, is really hard to do. We've seen that, and we've seen the consequences of that. And so one of the other things that we're doing is putting in place this testing protocol. We're going to test everybody twice a week, everybody on our campus. It is a program that we're participating in with a scientific institute in Cambridge, Massachusetts. It's an easy-to-use test. It's the front of the nose, not the very invasive tests that were in the early days. We get a very quick turnaround. The tests are highly reliable. And given the length of time it takes to be able to, from the time that someone acquires a virus to the time they become communicable, this allows us 1 or 2 turns at testing individuals to capture that virus early, and then to figure out where we might have had a breakdown in those practices through contact tracing to be able to fix the systems that we've got in place during the fall to make them stronger so that we're in a better position to bring back a larger number of students in the spring and ultimately get to the full number. And so we've got to work those systems, and the fall could be tricky from a scientific and health perspective, and so we're very mindful of that as well.